Hello everyone, my name is Shubhangi Sanjay Jadhav. Today's topic name is array. Array is a collection of a group of element. All the elements of an array are homogeneous. Similarly, it has continuous memory location. What is the need of an array? Suppose you have to store marks of a 15 student. One way to this is allocating 15 variable. So it will be typical and hard to manage. For example, we cannot access the value of this variable with only one or two lines of code. Another way to this is array. By using array, we can access the element easily. Only few line of code is required to access the element of an array. Where array are used to store list of employer or student names, to store marks of a student, or to store list of numbers or a character. Advantage of an array. First one is a code optimize. Less code to the access the data. Second, easy to traverse data. By using the for loop, we can retrieve the element of an array easily. Third one is easy to sort data. To sort the element of array, we need a few line of code only. Fourth one is a random access. We can access any element randomly using the array. Disadvantage of array. First is a sized fixed. Whatever size we define at the time of a declaration of an array, we cannot access the limit, so it does not grow the size dynamically like linked list. Declaration of an array. Syntax, data type, variable name, square root, size upon length of array. For example, here int is the data type, array is the name of an array, and 10 is the size of array. It means array can only contain 10 element of a int type. Index of an array start from 0 to size -1, that is first elements of an array will be stored at array 0 address and the last element will be copy array 9. Initialization of an array. After an array is declared, it must be initialized, otherwise it will contain garbage value or any random value. An array can be initialized at either compile time or at run time. First is a compile time array initialization. Compile time initialization of array elements is sum as a ordinary variable initialization. Syntax, data type, array name, size equals to curly bracket v1, v2, vn upon list of a value. For example, different ways of initializing arrays. First one, initializing all specified memory location. Second, partial array initialization. Third, initialization without size. Fourth, string initialization. First one is initializing all specified memory location. If the number of a value to be initialized is equal to size of an array, array can be initialized at the time of a declaration. Array element can be initialized with data element of a type int, float, char. For example, consider integer initialization. During compiling, 5 continuous memory locations are reserved by the compiler for the variable, and all these locations are initialized. The array is the initialization as if the size of integer is 2 byte. 10 byte will be allocated for the variable a. For example, consider character initialization. The character B is initialized as other example. Next point is how to access the element of a array. You can access element of a array by index. You can use array subscript to access element stored in an array. Subscript start with 0, which means array name would be used to access first element in an array. In general, array names n minus 1 can be used to access nth element of an array where n is an integer number. For example, float mark. Suppose you declare an array mark as above. The first element is a mark, second element is a mark 1, and so on. Few key notes. Runtime array initialization. An array can also be initialized at a run using scanf function. This approach is usually used for initializing large array or to initialize array with user specified value. For example, two-dimensional of a array. Two-dimensional array is C language is represented in the form of a row and columns, also known as a matrix. It is also known as the array of a list of a array. Two-dimensional, three-dimensional or other dimensional array are also known as a multi-dimensional array. Declare of a two-dimensional array. Syntax: data type, array name, size -1, size -2. For example, accessing two-dimensional array elements. And elements in a two-dimensional array is accessed by using the subscript, that is row index and column index of the array. For example, write a C program, addition of two matrices. So next point is a multidimensional array. How to initialize a multidimensional array? Initialization of the three-dimensional array. You can initialize a three-dimensional array is a similar way like a two-dimensional array. Here an example. Thank you.